hello, Sarah. So what are we gonna play today?
Today we are going to play Blokus.
Old school? What?
Going way back.
What?
Actually, I just picked up this copy of Blokus. My sister and I went to a couple of thrift stores today, and I found Blokus for $1.50 at a thrift store, and I thought for less than $2 we can take it home and give it a try, and if it's no good we can either pass it on or we can do something fun with these cool Tetris-like pieces here. So yeah, we're gonna give it a shot. We are playing a two-player only game, which means that each of us have two colors that we're working with. Essentially what's gonna happen is you're going to take any one of your pieces for your first move, and it has to be touching this corner space here. So I would just maybe do this. The next time that you place a piece, you have to only diagonally touch other places that you've pieced. So I could not do something like this, for example, because it would touch there and it would touch there. So I can only diagonally touch. Maybe I do something like this instead. So I still have that diagonal connection, but I got a piece on the board. What happens is when it no longer becomes possible for players to place pieces on the board, then you add up all of the points for each square you have left. So this particular piece would cost me 3 squares. And whoever has the lowest number of points wins the game. That is the basic scoring. There is an advanced variation on the scoring where you actually count the number of blocks that you have, and you get more points depending on like where some of them were placed and that kind of thing. We're just going to worry about the basic scoring for now, and yeah, we'll give it a shot.
Awesome. She has yours all laid out in that way, which is probably smarter for organization, but I was like, why not get my special bit bowl that I saw one day? I was like, ooh, this is very nice. Thrift store find, and it's just glorious. Glorious. So yeah, I'll have mine in this giant bit bowl here. Probably will maybe dump it out because I'll be like, I don't know, and I can't find the right piece. But yeah. So we'll give this a try. I've played Blokus a few times before, and I really enjoy it. It's a nice little plastic.
I'm not sure that I ever have played Blokus, actually.
Huh.
So.
Well, let's go. Let's do this thing.
All right.
All right. Toodles. Hello, Sarah.
Hi there.
How's it going?
It's going well.
It's a pretty quick game.
I think I built unevenly. We're supposed to play like blue, and then yellow, and then red, and then green. And I think I played a little bit too much red and not enough blue. But we'll sort it out.
Yeah, we'll sort it out. We'll figure it out. But yeah, we'll see how this will end soon enough. But yeah, what do you think of it so far? Since this is, I think you said your first time playing?
Yeah, as far as I can ever recall, I'm not sure that I've ever played this, maybe once or twice when I was like a kid, but we didn't have a copy of this when I was a child, so it would have been like at a friend's house or maybe a relative or something like that. So I did not play it often if I've ever played it. So far, it's a little boring. I'm waiting to get more pieces on the map because then I think that's when the puzzle is going to really start to shine. But you start off with a pretty big map, and you're kind of coming at it from all corners to sort of build into the middle. But I'm thinking that the second half of the game will be more interesting to me than the first. So we'll see what happens.
Okay, yeah, we'll see what happens as you enjoy your heroin eggs.
Oh my gosh, such sweet heroin.
Alright, well, we'll get back to you guys and see who is the winner and loser. Doodles! Well, hello, Sarah. You are the Blokus queen.
I am.
You are the winner. I am the loser. You had quite, I think, what, 30?
Oh, I don't know.
You were in the 32.
Some 30 points, something.
And I had like 46, so that was the point in the game was having the lesser points, and I was not it. So drink out my bit goblet of shame.
So one thing that I do want to point out is that couple things. One was that as a 2-player game, you're assigned 2 colors, and you're supposed to play one of your colors, then your opponent's supposed to play one of their colors, then you're supposed to play the other of your colors, and so on and so forth. I messed that up a couple of times, so I probably played like sort of out of turn a few times. And also, because we were controlling 2 different color pieces, at a certain point, I was no longer able to place my blues, but I was still able to place my reds. So eventually I just like started ignoring these altogether. I wasn't even taking blue turns at all, but I was still taking red turns. So I assume that's the way that it's kind of supposed to work, because it says that the game ends when no player can take another turn. So if blue can't take another turn, but every other player can, then I would assume that the game just keeps going. So I would assume, again, in a 2-player game, since I'm like controlling 2 players basically, that if this one can no longer play, then it's out, and then I continue to play with this one. So a couple little things that we figured out as we were playing. What did you think of the game, Nick?
I try to do like a Go style. For those that know how to play Go, is try to like enclose an area. But since in Blokus you can go diagonally with your colors and the pieces, it didn't really work out. She broke through, and I was like, well, I feel like I wasted a lot of time and sacrificed some pieces that could have been used elsewhere. And I will drink out of the goblet bibble of shame. But yeah, and I didn't even really use this because it was like, oh, well, I gotta find out what I need, so I dumped it.
I actually just like put my pieces on the table, and because I was having a hard time tracking like if I was supposed to take a turn with blue or red, I ended up putting them almost like in pairs and then matching that on the other side. So I'd have like a pair of reds, a pair of blues, so I could easily look and see which one was supposed to go next. Yeah, and that helped a little bit.
Definitely towards the end, because she mentioned that, and I kept second guessing myself on what I had left and what I needed to play now, and so I was constantly counting my pieces and to make sure I wasn't playing out of turn.
But that was only happening because we were playing the 2-player game.
Yeah, it's just a 2-player variant. So if you're playing with 3 or 4 players, you don't have to worry about having someone else's color.
I do think you get some foreign color pieces in the red. Yeah. Let's see. Blah, 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 blah.
But
yeah, the remaining color is shared and played alternatively by each player.
Okay. So it sounds kind of like an AI.
Yeah, a little bit.
Like you're trying to actually use that to thwart other players and kind of help yourself out. So is what it is on that point. But I like the game. It's not, there's nothing really going on with, theme or anything like that. And no really play interaction. But sometimes I like a cup of coffee or a cup of tea. And kind of like chess. You're just silently playing a game. And, there's a time and a place for those kind of games. I prefer the games with theme, more hobbyist games, but sometimes just a classic, like a strategy classic, not a Candyland or Monopoly, but that's just, my preferences. But if you like Monopoly, if you like Candyland, by all means, tear it up.
I almost feel like they could. I know that having the plastic pieces and the plastic frame is kind of cool, but I almost feel like they could redo this and implement the theme that we're like a community quilting circle and we're like all working on a quilt
Kinda
together.
Like Calico? Like the look of Calico.
Kind of. What I was really picturing was that like we could be this community quilting circle, and we're each trying to add to the quilt that's being worked on at the moment more than anybody else.
Well, the one that put in more work.
Exactly, and then it could be it could actually just be like maybe not felt, but like cloth pieces that look just like these, and
Marrakesh now.
Yeah, like the rugs in Marrakesh, but if they were like shaped like these pieces, right? And then like you could still play it. You could even play it. You wouldn't even need a board at that point. You just play it on a flat surface, And that would still be the exact same experience of like placing these pieces here, but I feel like maybe it would implement some theme.
Yeah, I mean, we'd have to see and play and test and stuff, but it's not our game. We don't own it, so we're not gonna put in the extra effort. But so we really hope you all enjoyed this little trip down memory lane with Blokus. Maybe you have some fond memories of Blokus, and even still have a family treasured copy of Blokus, or you got that new hot, right off the shelf Blokus. But whatever kind of Blokus you have, it's an okay game. It's good. It's one of those good puzzly games that you're playing because you've had a rough day at work, or you want to play something but you don't want to play. We were considering Pret, and I was like,
yeah, we did want to play Pret, but we're both pretty wiped out, so
we're probably gonna play Pret later
this weekend. It's Friday. We're gonna play all the games.
All the games.
All weekend.
All weekend.
But also we're gonna sleep in. Maybe watch a movie or two.
Sounds good.
Eat some yummy food.
Yummy food. Chocolate.
Oh yeah.
But yeah. Well, until next time. Toodles.